Hello everyone, myself Shreyushi Han from Lords of Law Private Limited. Today in this video, we shall discuss a very significant topic of family law, that is custody of children. So let us begin with today's video. So before going into the detailed study of what actually custody of children means, we shall discuss why this basic concept or this basic idea of custody of children arise. That is, from where or what is the root of this problem. Now, it is important for us to actually note down that in the today's present world, custody of children is a very sensitive and a very significant topic to discuss. So, what happens is that when a couple decides to get married and have children, after that, there is full liberty on the couple to actually get separated from each other. Now, during the separation, the major concern or the major sensitive issue which arises is that who will be having the custody of the children or child, if any, which is born to the couple. Now, it is very obvious fact that both the mother and the father loves a child in an unequal proportion. We can never say that the mother loves the child more or the father loves the child more. So, it is very natural or obvious that both the mother as well as the father, both of them will actually want the custody of the child. So in this case, it becomes very tough for the court to decide as to who shall get the custody of the child or the children if the couple have any. Now, under the Hindu Marriage Act and also under the Special Marriage Act as well as under the Indian Divorce Act, we will get various provisions regarding the custody of children. Now, in this issue or in this respect, I would like to mention a very important point, that is any orders passed with respect to the children, that is any order passed with respect to the custody or visitation rights of the children, are always interlocutory in nature. Now, what does this basic concept or basic idea of interlocutory means? It means that these are temporary in nature and the court have full power or full authority to actually modify or invalidate the order of custody of the children. So, in this respect, let us go to the detailed study about what the law actually stands for. Section 26 of the Hindu Marriage Act talks about the custody of children. So under this section, it has been held that a matrimonial court has the authority to decide the custody and the visitation rights of the child. The matrimonial court under this particular section is given the authority to decide regarding the education, the maintenance and custody of the children. Now, as I have already mentioned that these orders, that is the custody of child and the visitation rights of child, are always temporary in nature. That is, if the court is of the opinion that this particular person to whom the custody of the children is vested is actually not taking care of the child, then the court can immediately modify or rescind that order. Now, let us talk about that what factors are important to take into account by the court for this custody of children. So, as we all know and we all should understand that children are very sensitive. They are like from the very beginning when they actually go through the mental trauma of separation of their parents, it is important for them, it is important for us to make them understand and handle them with care. Otherwise, this can lead to various problems in the future. So, what happens is that the court, while deciding as to whom or who, the mother or the father, or who will be having the custody right of the child, the court takes into account the welfare of the child. That is, the welfare of the child is being given the paramount consideration in any cases of custody of children. So here the court takes into account that who has that capacity or capability to actually have the bringing up of the children, or who can actually help the child to be a better person. So always the welfare of the child is given the paramount consideration. Welfare of the child also includes his or her educational facilities, his or her maintenance facilities, his or her other needs which generally a child needs. So this all comes under the purview of the court in deciding whether the mother or the father who shall get the custody of the child. Now, coming to the general issue that many times it has been argued that not only the welfare but also the wishes of the child should also be taken into account. So here also the court also, while deciding the case, actually have pointed out that definitely under all circumstances the welfare is of course taken into account side by side the wishes of the child, that is with whom the child is comfortable or with whom the child, whether the mother or the father, with whom the child wants to stay. This is also taken to be a very important consideration. So moving on, I want to highlight one thing here, which is that in a case, it was held that, let me read out the case once. The case is Sardar Bhupendra Singh versus Jasbir Kaur. I repeat, the case is Sardar Bhupendra Singh versus Jasbir Kaur. So in this case, it was held that the father had a very well-established financial status. So naturally, the father claimed the custody of the child, stating the facts that as per the educational facilities or the other facilities which the son or the child wants, the father can definitely provide for that. So this was the main criteria, this was the main pleading of the father, that is the petitioner here before the honorable court. However, it has been noted that the child, particularly here the son or the male child, he wanted to stay with his mother and of course in the mother's paternal home. So in this case, the court pointed out that nevertheless, if the father takes the custody of the child, definitely in terms of welfare or in terms of betterment, the child will get all the necessary requirements. However, since the child personally wishes to stay with his mother, so the court gave prior and ultimate importance to the wish of the child and ordered that definitely the child can go and continue to live with his mother as per his wish. Now, as we already know that when a child is very young, for example, when a child is below 5 years, and in that case, people will automatically argue that the child should be given the custody of the mother, since it's a mother who actually gives much nourishment, much care and much attention to the child during the period of infancy. So here, Delhi, Rajasthan and Mysore High Courts are of the view that the custody of children below the age of 5 years should automatically be given to the mother. And I feel it is quite justified, since as I already mentioned that apart from financial status or financial support, it is a mother during the infancy who can give the necessary support both physically as well as mentally to the child. Now coming to the question that since these high courts have particularly ruled that the custody of the child below the age of 5 years should automatically given to the father, so was automatically given to the mother. So what if the mother is leading an unchaste life, or the mother is not actually taking into account the welfare of the child, or mother is not fulfilling the needs of the child? So in this case, obviously the court can alter or modify the custody of the child below the 5 years. It is not a hard and fast rule that custody of the child below the age of 5 years should automatically given to the mother. If in any circumstance or any situation it has been found that the mother is not doing the work properly which is assigned by the court as regard to the welfare of the child, then definitely the court can modify or rescind the order as well. So another thing or another question that arose in this particular judgment was that then after 5 years should automatically the custody go to the father, since the basis or the what do we say, the reason for which below 5 years custody was given was because of the nourishment or the care or the attention which mother specifically has to give to their children. And so after 5 years, can the custody automatically go to the father? No, it does not. It is not such in the picture. Obviously, the father can claim the custody, and if the father is of the opinion that he can maintain or he can take care of the welfare and the consideration of the child much more than that of the mother, then definitely he can go ahead with his claim. Now, again, I want to highlight here is that in any case, if the mother or the father is not taking into account the welfare of the child or is not doing anything for which the which is beneficial to the child, the court can obviously rescind and modify the order as per the requirements, since the ultimate goal and the ultimate intention of the of the code, as per the custody of the child is to protect the child, is to make the child a good citizen, a good person, a good human, and to and for that reason custody is given to such person who can actually take care of the child. The last issue which I want to highlight here is that, now coming to the question that if a person, like if the mother or either the mother or the father gets the custody of the child, then who the other person, that is if the father gets and the mother, and if the mother gets and the father, will they not have any access to the child? That is, the access will completely be cut down. No, this is not the case. If one gets a custody of the child, the another gets a visitation right. So if the mother, or either the mother or the father who has been given the right to have the custody of the child, the other people remaining, that is in the case of mother is given the father, and in the case of father the mother, either of them will have the visitation right. This is done by the court to ensure that even if the marriage is broken, the relationship of mother or the relationship of father with the particular child has not been broken, and that should be maintained. So obviously visitation right is given to the other party, and that party will obviously have the full right to go and talk to their children, talk to his or her children, to have a conversation with him, to go out with him, to like the relationship which he or she would have if the couple were together would be similar with the child actually. So yeah, access to the child is definitely given to the other person who doesn't have the custody, and the remaining party will have the custody of child. One thing which I want to highlight is that many people argue on the basis of money. That is, in order for a properly bringing up the child or welfare of the child to be that regard, the financial position or the financial status is very important. That how much money you are willing to contribute, and who has that financial position, who can actually contribute money for the welfare of the child. Now, as I already mentioned, the case of Sardar Bhupendra Singh versus Jasbir Kaur, where the court has repeatedly said that financial position or financial status has nothing to do with the custody of the child, because here what happens is that if you have money, that doesn't justify that you can take care of the child, or you can have the welfare money, you can contribute to the welfare of the child. What is important is a mental satisfaction of the child, where the child will be living a happy life, where the child will be living a peaceful life, because ultimately the children are the assets of the country. So court will obviously take into account the fact that where the child is happy, and where the child not only is not only his physical development, but where also he will mentally be peaceful and mentally be happy. So another case also I want to highlight here is this Rajinder Kumar Mishra versus Richa. In this case also, the wife, as per the compared to the wife, the husband had better financial position, but since the daughter here in this case wanted to stay with the mother, so the custody was given to the mother. It was considered by, it was pointed out by the court that while a female child gets older, she needs to discuss few things about her bodily development, or about her changes which she faces in her body after puberty, that she was comfortable with discussing with the mother rather than the father. So in these cases, again, we have seen that financial status has nothing to do with the custody of child. It is always the consideration, the wishes, and the welfare of the child which is taken into account. With this, I conclude today's session. I hope you like this video, and I hope you have gained much knowledge from this video. I always like to put up the video in such a way so that people can understand the video in a very simple and easy method. So yeah, thank you very much.